What is up, guys? This is Chase Oliver 68, and I'm kicking off finally my WrestleMania review series with WrestleMania 16, otherwise known as WrestleMania 2000. For most people, was in the year 2000. Took place at the beautiful Arrowhead, not the Arrowhead, the Pond in Anaheim, California, not the HONDA Center. How do you change the Pond to the HONDA Center? Most of the time, I'm going to be uploading these reviews kind of like quick, if you will. We got WrestleMania in 6 weeks, so I'm going with 16 to 27, so which means I have to review like 11 shows in the span of 6 weeks. So maybe there will be double uploads, like, you know, one day you'll get probably like a WrestleMania review, and then the next day you'll, on that same day, maybe an Impact Wrestling review, maybe a Q&A. The Q&As may be on the back burner a little bit, so if I get late for those Q&As, I apologize, but I was looking over the questions for Q&A number 6, I believe, and really, to be honest, these questions are not anything about the current product or more about the past product. A lot of stuff about superstars from the past, so I'm pretty sure I'm okay with that. And yeah, that's all I gotta say there. But you can always ask me Q&As, just inbox me, join the forums, PWM forums. I don't know how many times I have to stress that. Discuss down there. You know, school taking over my life right now, so been focusing on that, but I'll be posting there mostly on the weekends. But let's get started with this WrestleMania. A fun fact about this WrestleMania, it was my first WrestleMania I saw. I did not see it live though. I saw it via VHS in the January of 2001 because WrestleMania 17 was heading around the corner, which would be the first WrestleMania I saw live, like in my living room. But this was the first WrestleMania I saw, and this is why I'm reviewing it, because I don't think I could review the past WrestleManias and really give a good input and output. My logic would be different. I would sound like an idiot trying to talk about the storylines that were going on at the time. So that's why I am starting out with like 16 to 27. So, interesting, another little fun fact was this was the first WrestleMania without a one-on-one between male competitors. So there was no one-on-one matches between male competitors. Most of these were like tag team matches, and there was one cat fight, which was absolutely terrible. But let's get started. We kick off the show with the Big Boss Man and Bolt B. Cannon, a.k.a. B Squared, if you guys know who that was, John Cena's rapping buddy. They defeated the team of Godfather and D'Lo Brown. This was nothing really too special. It was like, it didn't really get the crowd hyped up. The tag team of D'Lo Brown and Godfather was interesting, but the crowd was more excited for Godfather's entrance than the actual match itself. It wasn't really that great. Then the next match, the 15-minute Hardcore Battle Royale for the WWE Hardcore Championship. We have many people on the internet really like kind of bash this match. It was like stupid. I personally did like this match. I really thought this match was fun and entertaining to watch. The crowd was certainly behind it, in my opinion. I thought the crowd was way into this match. It was definitely an entertaining aspect to this show. But the funniest thing was this: Hardcore Holly botching that ending with Crash Holly, because he wasn't supposed to win the Hardcore title. Actually, Crash Holly was supposed to win, but they were short on. They didn't know what the time said or what the clock said. So Hardcore Holly, when he went for the pin, he even talked about this on a Botchamania or in like an interview. I don't know what interview, so don't ask me. I think it's like a U-Shoot interview. He talked about how, like, yeah, they didn't know on time what they were going to do. And so Hardcore Holly just pinned Crash Holly, and he won and walked out with the belt. Shortly thereafter, you know, the next night on Raw, Hardcore Holly did win. Crash Holly did win the Hardcore title from Hardcore Holly. But the funniest, and this won't be found on any video WrestleMania 16 you own now. This won't be found on anything released by the WWE. But if you go on YouTube and you manage to find this clip, and it's pretty popular, Hardcore Holly calls Michael Cole a dickhead backstage, and that was fucking hilarious. I thought it was a good match. It was fun to watch. You know, I thought it was really fun to watch. Taz was way over with the crowd when he came out. I just remember when Taz came out, those Anaheim fans were going crazy. TNA with Trish Stratus, and if you don't know who TNA were, it's Test and Albert, a.k.a. A-Train for most people who don't know, defeated the Head Cheese featuring of Al Snow and Steve Blackman with Chester this tag match was not great at all. I really did not care about this match. So, yeah, moving on with it. It just wasn't that good, so skip. Now it's time for the match of the night. This was the match of the night for WrestleMania 16. I have many people say maybe the Fatal 4-Way, the main event, was the match of the night. And some even say the 2-fall triple threat match was the match of the night. But I'm giving this the match of the night. It's one of the better matches in WrestleMania history. It's one of the greatest matches in WrestleMania history. if you think about it. Edge and Christian defeating the Dudley Boys and the Hardy Boys in the Triangle Ladder match, first time ever, were the WWF Tag Team Champions. That was a very, very good match. And it led up to, the TLC match at SummerSlam, and then the TLC 2 in the future at WrestleMania 17 next year. All these teams really did a good job. And you look at the history of these teams and look at where they have gone from there on out. I mean, you got Edge and Christian and Jeff Hardy, former world champions. Bubba Ray and D-Ball never got their break. Matt Hardy's a former U.S. and ECW champion. All these men had successful single careers, and it really shows, like, man, this was the tag team division back then. And you even look at tag team matches from the earlier part of the show. Big Bossman used to be a former main eventer. Godfather, he was very over with the crowd. D'Lo Brown, IC Euro champion, former at the same time, actually. So it really showed that these teams could go over, especially when you go with the Radicals later, after like 2 matches after. How many talent was on that with Benoit and Guerrero? So really, 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 I thought good match, awesome match. Edge and Christian, of course, pick up the win here, and I really was enjoying this match. I personally like this match more than the WrestleMania 17 match. I know many people liked the WrestleMania 17 match more than this one, but I thought this one was much more cleaner, especially because we didn't have all the run-ins with like Spike Dudley, Rhino, and Lita coming out, although it was nice to see Lita. But then again, very good match. Definitely the match of the night for me. Terry Runnels defeating Kat in a cat fight match. Besides the fact that both these women were pretty hot, and we got to see some Mae Young and Fabulous Moolah action, this match is a total skip. It's probably one of the worst wrestling women's matches. And really, women at WrestleMania, under one exception, which will be talked about later on in this review series, have not been lucky, if I should say, because they really, really never got a huge break when it came down to it. Their matches were never really that great. So, yeah, pretty much that's the match there. Terry Runnels wins. Yeah. Too Cool and Chyna facing the Radicals, and against which consisted of this team was Eddie Guerrero, Perry Saturn, and Dean Malenko. It was standard. It was nothing really too special here. I did like what Eddie Guerrero was doing in this match, but other than that, Too Cool was over, especially Scotty 2 Hottie. Chyna ended up getting the win for her team, and I thought this was an okay 6-man tag match. Chyna really showed her dominance in here, and it really showed that Chyna was very over with the crowd. I mean, the crowd loved Chyna in this match. They were going crazy. So, yeah, pretty much all I got to say about that match. The first fall, Chris Benoit, the 2 out of 3 falls for the triple threat for the WWF Intercontinental and European Championships. The first fall got the IC title, and the European title was for the second fall. I don't get why they didn't flip-flop that around, but whatever. Kurt Angle entered as the dual champion. Kurt Angle calling himself the first Euro IC champion, erasing the history of Jeff Jarrett and D'Lo Brown. Those two also acquired the same resume, but it was a pretty good technical match. On the time-wise, though, you would think, man, they would give these guys a lot of time to really put on a great show, but this match only went 13 minutes and it had like 2 pinfalls in like 13 minutes. Angle getting pinned, I believe, in both. Chris Benoit ended up walking away with the IC title, which was showing that they were moving Chris Benoit up on the card. You knew that the Radicals group, Benoit was the star of that group. He was the definite star of that group. You knew that he was going to be the singles guy, because I believe in 99, and I started watching wrestling in 2000. I've done a little homework. I believe in 99, Benoit was in a feud with The Rock or with Austin, or I think it was late 2000 when Benoit started to feud with Austin for that WWF Championship. Late 99, late 2000, I believe, is when Benoit started feuding with Austin for that WWF Championship, and he was really being a big focal point for the WWF title. I mean, The Rock, not Austin. Sorry there. The Rock. And he was being a real big focal point with that WWF title and really getting pushed. So Benoit winning the IC title made sense. And Jericho, entering the company, in late 99, early 99. Man, my freaking brain is fried today. But Jericho, really a big focal point, trying to build this guy up. And Kurt Angle you knew he was going to become WWE champion in the later part of this year. It was like set in stone. Angle is a future world champion. This guy had it all. He had the mic work. He had a certain look to him. He had a certain in-ring ability to him. He was just an entertaining guy. You know, you knew Angle was going to win that WWF title later this year, regardless of who won this match. So I don't think it hurt Kurt Angle at all, because it was almost apparent that Angle was going to become the next WWF champion later that year. So, I'd say it was an okay match. Many people have this as their match of the night, but I thought it was okay. Then we get into a filler match, basically to fill in for the main event. We got the Dead DX, DX kind of without Triple H. I mean, Triple H, I guess, was still involved with DX a little bit, but not. He wasn't really the same Triple H and DX. He was more of the tough, rigid, McMahon, Helmsley, Triple H than D-Generation X, suck it, goofball Triple H. And between Rikishi and Kane and Rikishi pick up the win. It was a short tag match. This was obviously just there to get the crowd really toned down, because, the match before, the crowd was pretty hot for, and they didn't want the crowd to be totally dead for the Fatal 4-Way that was coming up for the WWF Championship. So we got the Fatal 4-Way match for the WWF Championship. We got none other than Triple H, The Rock, Mick Foley, whose career ended the month before. His career ended the month before. He was beating Triple H for that WWF title. He lost at the Royal Rumble in that awesome street fight in the Rumble, and then he lost in the Hell in a Cell at No Way Out before, and his career was done. And Linda McMahon brought him back, and he got like the cheap pop. And then Big Show was in this match, and this match really did not focus around like the four superstars involved. This was more about the McMahon family and their feud more than anything else. And at this time, Stephanie McMahon, she was like the prima donna bitch, as you would say. She betrayed her father at Armageddon '99 and freaking went with Triple H and performed and started this McMahon Helmsley era, which led to Triple H becoming WWF champion at one point. And The Rock, Vince McMahon taking a turn. The Rock, loved by all. The fans were into The Rock, and Vince McMahon basically was like a face at this point, being with The Rock, with the past history. Linda McMahon was like, oh, this battle, if you guys are going to battle it out, you can't exclude me out of here, and brought in Mick Foley, which got the crowd behind her. And Big Show, lost the WWF Championship to Triple H, I believe, after... I believe he did lose it to Triple H on a Raw before the year was up. I believe he did. I think it was not after Armageddon, though. Or maybe it was like the first Raw of 2000. He deserved to be in this match. He was like the second guy eliminated in the Rumble. And he was with Shane McMahon. And this match, it really was subpar. Big Show was the first to go. And then Mick Foley was the second to go. And then it came down to Triple H and The Rock. And many were like saying, I have people saying that Triple H shouldn't have won this match. The Rock's a babyface. You don't want to leave the fans too deadbeat for Mania. Yeah, I understood The Rock got the final blow on Triple H. He destroyed Triple H at the end. I understand that, but they thought maybe Triple H didn't need to win this match. Maybe The Rock should have won. To be honest, I thought that The Rock winning would have made the better choice. But Triple H winning, I guess it made him into a bigger star, because at that point, Triple H's career WrestleMania win, I believe, was against Owen Hart in '98. I guess. But besides that, there was not really like a huge win for Triple H. But then again, there wasn't like a huge win for The Rock. So, I don't know. This match was not as good. It went really long. It went 36 minutes and 20 seconds. It went over 35 plus minutes. So that's pretty long for a WWF Championship match. It was standard. A lot of people say, oh, this is the match of the night. I give it to the Triangle Ladder match. I thought there was a lot of good spots in that match. A lot of good action in that match. The pace was always upbeat. This kind of fell flat a little bit, and the crowd really showed that maybe they didn't really care about this match. Overall, what are my thoughts of this WrestleMania? This WrestleMania was kind of bad. I'm not going to lie. It wasn't like terrible, but it was kind of bad. A lot of filler tag matches that really led up to nothing. I mean, these guys were never going to really team again. The only tag match that actually mattered was that triangle ladder match, and that wasn't like a standard tag match. That was a gimmick match. And the 2 out of 3 falls for the IC Euro title. Interesting concept, but you couldn't have given it a little bit more time. I mean, you're going to make Kane and Rikishi come after it. Why not fucking just make that a squash match? I'm pretty sure people wouldn't really have cared. And plus, Kane and Rikishi were over, especially Rikishi with the whole dancing thing, because they were trying to turn him back to being. No, he didn't turn heel yet. Rikishi was very over, so you could have you could have just had it where X-Pac comes in the match, Kane chokeslams him, Rikishi gets tagged in, kicks him in the face, and then afterwards does the stink face, and then Kane takes out Road Dogg, and then Rikishi sits on X-Pac, and then Kane and Rikishi dance or something, or Rikishi dance and Kane doesn't really care. Like, you could have done that, but in all honesty, I didn't really think this WrestleMania was the greatest. I thought it was okay at best. I would have to probably give it like a C minus. It really wasn't interesting throughout. It was just kind of like dull, you know. Not really a singles males match on this card. Random tag matches, like only 3 or 4 matches that really had meaning behind them. It was really dull. Up next is everyone's favorite WrestleMania 17. Remember, if you guys want to watch my WrestleMania review series, subscribe above for more videos of that. Subscribe for like Raw reviews, TNA reviews, wrestling thoughts and news, and sports thoughts. Comment down below your guys' thoughts of WrestleMania 16. What highlights did you have from this pay-per-view? What was your low rights? And what would you give WrestleMania 16? If you have a review up and you want to follow this review series, video response is always welcome. Remember to join the forums. Facebook me, not my real life Facebook people, the one I post in the link in the description. Stop with this freaking real life Facebook. I'm not going to add any of y'all. The only reason why is because some of you fans, I love y'all. Don't get me wrong, I love you fans. But some of you keep posting on my wall every single time. And it's like, yeah, I like discussing about wrestling too. I mean, and if you guys say, oh, maybe you're trying to hide this from your friends, my fucking Facebook cover picture is The Rock and John Cena doing this. So obviously I'm not hiding I'm a wrestling fan. I just like to keep YouTube life and real life kind of like separate, if you get what I'm saying. So add me and talk to me on there. I'll be getting on, posting statuses on there, trying to get that more active. Follow me on Twitter. Pretty much what I got to say there. This is Chase Oliver 68. I'm itchy as fuck. Subscribe if you haven't. See y'all.